Hey, bricks and mortar retailers, did you know there's a gold mine hiding in plain sight within your bricks and mortar store? In the next couple of minutes, I'm going to show you how to unlock it, boost your revenue, and transform your retail business. So, welcome to this week's very short video about customer profiling and segmentation and the power of it. So, in a recent survey by Accenture, that big four consulting company or six, they did some research and found that a whopping 91% of consumers prefer shopping with brands that offer personalized offers and recommendations. And this leads on to one of the biggest mistakes that bricks and mortar retailers make, and that is not understanding who their current top customers are and thereby not segmenting them. So it's really, really important. And this is a key strategy that I used to use when I used to buy new businesses. And this is what a lot of the other uh, big players in retail, not just in retail, but in any business do, is when you take over a business, you start to look at where the current wins are. What are the current strengths in the business? And this is a strategy that many of us retailers aren't doing. So basically, this is looking at where are all your sales coming from within your store. What are your top products? What are your top categories? What are your most profitable categories and profitable products? And by understanding what that is, you can then start to build a profile about this particular customer. You may not know exactly, but you can start to build a profile. And by building a profile, you really start to get a picture of what their needs are, what their wants are, what are their problems, what other problems can you solve for them? Because let's face it, they're already coming into your store. So we have a greater chance of selling to them and selling to them things that they already want and solving even more of their problems. So it's a really seems like a no-brainer, but why aren't many bricks and mortar retailers doing it? Well, because it's a bit of a process. And let's face it, we're running our stores. We've got so many other things to worry about within our stores. Marketing, people not turning up to shifts, we're running out of cash. And so we don't really have the framework, nor do we have the time. And perhaps we're not tapping into somebody else's expertise on how to do it. So basically, to build a customer profile and then segment that profile based on what's already happening in your store. So like I said, we can just continue to hit home runs. There's a few things you need to do. You need to analyze your data within your store. So have a look at what's selling and so forth. And then you need to have a process to try and paint a picture about them. Very much similar to the way that we would look at our ideal customer. And that's coming from a different perspective, but you need to follow a very similar process like that. And so once you start to paint a picture of this particular customer, you really start to understand them better. And then you can start to figure out what exactly they need, what else you could be selling them. And you start to put together this really clear picture. And then your marketing becomes so much more targeted. It's less hit and miss because you know exactly what you're aiming for and whose problems you're trying to solve. And this is a great way, you may have in your store, just saying, you might have a whole heap of excess stock, or perhaps you have this stock and you're going to get rid of it because it's excess, but you're trying to figure out, well, what am I going to put there? Well, by following this process, by profiling your customers and segmenting your best customers, that answers the question very easily for you, like what I'm going to put it on the shelf when I get rid of this particular product. So hopefully found that useful. Customer profiling and segmentation, look into it, work through it, and you'll start to tap into all this hidden revenue and profitability within your store just by selling more to your existing customers. So I'd love to know, what other tools do you use within your store to increase revenue very, very easily? Pop them into the comment section below. And until next time, ciao, ciao.